Hey there, welcome. I'm David from Adroit Architecture. In today's video, I want to talk to you a little bit about issues to do with the site as you commence the building process. Now, when you talk about site analysis and establishment of the constraints that will affect your design as you progress with this part of getting your project off the ground, there are several things that you need to be aware of as you deal with this issue of coming up with a design process. One of the things that you need to consider from the get-go is what are the legal constraints with regards to that parcel of land. Every parcel of land has got if you've purchased something, you've purchased it and you've got a title deed provided to you. If you look at one of the pages within that title deed, it talks about encumbrances and constraints that are placed on that land. Every neighborhood, for example, has got certain regulations that affect what you're planning to build. Okay? You may have heard of gated communities defining the amount of development you're allowed to put up on each parcel of land, right? Perhaps you're thinking about building a flat in an area where they allow only a single dwelling with a servant quarter. If you try to do that in that location, you'll face a fight. You'll have a fight on your hands. So you need to be able to build what is allowed within that place. Those are the legal constraints that I'm talking about. This again goes to issues to do with the zoning regulations. Every council has defined what they would like built in certain locations, right? You cannot go and put up an industry in an area which is defined as a residential location. You cannot come and put up a multiple dwelling in an area where they have defined single dwelling only. If you try to do that, your neighbors have actually got grounds to take you forward and report you to the authorities. So you must be able to respond to the zoning and legal constraints that are placed on your parcel of land. You need to be aware of what the local authorities have defined with regards to matters such as plot coverage, how that defines how much of your parcel of land you can build on. You need to be able to define issues to do with height restriction. How high do they allow you to build in that particular location? Issues to do with the ratios. How dense of a development can you put up in whichever parcel of land that it is that you're building on? So all these factors, you'll be able to get them in consultation with the local authorities. And that's one of the things that you need to do as you begin your building project. Now, as a client, you may not know some of these things, and that's why it's important for you to engage your architect to be able to help you and guide you on that process. One of the things that really impacts your building is with regards to the physical characteristics of the parcel of land that you're putting up your place on. The topography. How is the land shaped? Is it a flat parcel of land? Does it have a moderate slope? What kind of natural features are on that parcel of land, right? You need to be able to consider what's the landscaping of that place. Do we have old mature trees on that parcel of land which it would be a shame to get rid of unless it's absolutely necessary, right? You need to be able to think about the geology of the parcel of land that you want to build on. This speaks of what is below the ground. Okay, you've got places where So you need to be able to be very clear where the boundaries and the beacons of your parcel of land are located. Okay. Now, in this regard, you need to be able to engage a registered surveyor who can be able to make sure the land has been properly adjudicated, and the definitions of the boundaries, even by issuing beacon certificates and clear identification of where your land ends and starts, have to be well defined. You need to consider your neighbors. I love your neighbors, as it is so said. All right. Your neighbors will affect the sense of privacy you have, and you will affect the sense of privacy they have. When you design a building project, issues to do with things like balconies and that kind of thing have to be done in a manner that you privatize and take care of each other's privacy, right? You do not want to have a scenario where your neighbors overlook your parcel of land, especially sensitive areas of your parcel. Maybe you're going to build a beautiful home with a swimming pool, but you don't want to feel like your neighbors, when your neighbor is doing his sunbasking, they're enjoying views of your private moments. So you need to be able to take care of that in terms of your orientation and what you're going to specify on different parts of your plot. Definition of issues to do with access to your plot have to be well made very early on. Right? Where is the access road for getting to your parcel of land? Perhaps it needs to be graded, because when you start building, you'll need to have trucks and vehicles coming in and bringing in materials. So you may need to consider how that needs to be dealt with from the very onset. So those are some of the things that you need to consider. How will you access your building project, right? So with regards to that, things to do with culverts and things to do with sewer lines and so on, all those have to come into your mind when you're analyzing your plot, right? So when you take care of all these various things, you're able to have a much more educated view, a much more defined route with regards to coming up with a solution that will answer to all these different parameters that affect your building. At the end of the day, you want a building that is well suited for your site. So do take care of the site analysis as you begin your project.